Alright, so tonight, I got this Science of Speed gauge pod. It's pretty cool. It goes in the right next to where the radio controls go in the steering, and this is where the start button is going to be. I already installed in the gauge. It's a Innovate power safe gauge, power safe PSB1, power safe boost 1. I kind of unboxed it already. Did that. That's the sensor. Not going to be installing this tonight. I'm going to wait till the kit comes. I just want to get the gauge mounted just because I'm bored tonight, so I figure why not do it. It comes with everything you need. 4-bar map sensor, cable. This is a cable for the wideband. This is for the computer, programming cable. T, some hose, just all the basic gauge stuff. Then it also comes with the bung, which I actually got the bung welded in my car already, so I'm good on that. But it was nice that they included it. So as for the gauge, I've had it for a while just sitting around. So these two, I'm not gonna use these wires. So I heat shrunk each one of them, and then I put some more heat shrink over them. So that's there. I got this one. This is how I'm gonna tap in to the power. It's gonna be through there. And this gauge takes a 5-amp fuse. Ground, and I'm not gonna be tapping into my dimming. So you're supposed to tie them together. The ground and the white and the black, and then I will end up putting a connector over this, but I really just want to get the gauge in the car, or at least see what it looks like. So anyway, let me get in the car and take out the cluster. So I got such a small surface to work with, but basically got it out, and I'm just going through wiping it with my Total interior protector, just kind of getting the little dust off it and everything, but this is going to come out anyway. I'm going to take this out. Not sure how I'm going to do it. I'm kind of just winging it. But let's see. I'm assuming I'm just going to take off these 3 screws and it'll pop out, and then put the new unit in. Bada bing, bada boom. Put the start button in, install it back in the car. So let me just get this off real quick and then put the new one in so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, so this install isn't all peaches and cream. This clip here, it pushes in. This side on the starter is hard, so it's a metal plate, and when I push it in, it's not going because of the plastic nub that's on it. So if I push past the metal, the thing is, the factory one is plastic. You can work with plastic, you can move plastic. But this, it's not, it's metal, so I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to get it on there, and the instructions don't say anything about it. So I'm gonna push really hard. I sure hope I don't break my starter thing, but I mean, I don't really have a choice, so that sucks. So there's that. Let me get it in though. All right, so I put it in, but let me show you guys what I had to do. I took the file from, any file really would do, but I took the file from a nail clipper and I filed down this little piece right here. Hold on, real quick. I filed down that plastic piece right there. Reason why I did that, so it can barely, I wish it would focus, so it can slip right over. There we go. So I filed it just so it fits right over. This clip is fine. It's just that one, and it's metal, so you're not pushing it through without filing down a little bit. I may call Science of Speed and tell them to revise that a little bit, but I don't know if they're gonna take my advice. But yeah, that's what I had to do. But I left as much as I could, that way, you know, as to not mess it up, just in case I gotta use it in another thing or whatever. So basically, behind the dashboard, you're just gonna use the starter one. Gonna use this is the cruise control, and then you're gonna plug back the rear heater and whatever this one is. That's for the AC controls. But there's 2 others that you're not gonna use because you're just not using the radio controls anymore. Also, the way this works is just, you see these washers, they just the way they did it's interesting. So instead of having this whole bracket where you screw stuff into, I'm sorry, it's all zoomed out. instead of having this bracket where you screw it into these screw holes, you don't utilize those anymore. Utilize these washers. They sit over the top of it, and that's what holds it in. Also, this is the look outside of the car. Sorry, yeah, outside the car. So, I think it looks pretty good. Honestly, I really do. I like it a lot. It's clean. So if you notice, there is a little bit of a gap light, but on the stock one, there's also you can't see it right there, but there is a gap with light. So it fits pretty well. Plus, you're not gonna see the gap because once it goes in the car, it's gonna be black and whatever, but they did do that anodized finished on there, kind of to match this one a little. But this is metal, that's plastic. Otherwise, looks really good, really clean, and it's right in the line of sight. So I'm gonna get it installed back in the car. I'll show it in the morning. Heat shrink tubing, looks pretty good. I used a spade connector. So like I was saying earlier, this is gonna go on the ground that is up in there. Let me show you. So you see that gold thing? So I'm gonna put the spade connector behind that. I'm gonna plug in my ground and power and see what it does. I don't really want to have the gauge on all the time, but it is what it is. I didn't hook the wideband up yet just because I don't want to be blowing out sensors prematurely without having to, because I heard sometimes those sensors are kind of funky when it comes to this stuff. And also I don't want to run through the grommet right now because I'm gonna have to do the same thing when the water pump comes. So I'd rather just run all those at once, but I will continue when I get through with this. Whew. All right, so oh shit, that's not good. Okay, yeah, not supposed to do that. I gotta find out why that gauge has power right now. I guess I did something wrong. Back to the drawing board. It's, oh man, that sucks, dude. It's supposed to be off. It's probably something with the ground, but I'll figure it out in a second. Damn, that sucks. It's not supposed to be on right now. Okay, hold on. All right, let's do some troubleshooting together. So, I took the ground off, right? Put the car in the on position. Actually, no. I'm gonna turn the car off. And then I'm gonna touch the ground to that ground. The car's off. Yeah, gauge is on. Let me see. I think it's my power supply, man. I think it's getting constant power. Yeah, because as soon as I touch it, the gauge comes on. So it might be where I'm getting the power from, which is weird because when I tested it earlier, it wasn't doing that. So it's not the ground, it's the power. I guess this running lights is always on. I'm gonna try a couple different ones and see what happens. Yeah, stay tuned. All right, guys, so my stupid writing that I did here is pointless. I am gonna use the turn light on, and basically car's off right now. I'll put the camera here for you guys to see. Car's off right now. I'm touching the ground. Comment down below if it turns on. Probably not. Okay, it doesn't. And then put the key on, put the ground there. So I end up tapping into that 7.5 fuse, the turn light fuse. So there is a specific way to use the fuse tap, so just know that. I thought that the running light, because I was holding the stuff up to my hand with my hands, so I thought that, but I guess I didn't have like really good contact. So that's why when I tested the one with the heated mirror, which I didn't use my multimeter because it's actually dead right. Oh, why don't you put the light on? It's dark in here. My multimeter is actually dead. So, and it's like inside was all corroded and stuff. So I'm gonna have to buy another one of that, which sucks because I had this one for years. But anyway, my multimeter was dead, so I couldn't really test like that. So I kind of had to do it like manually. Anyways, long story short, I got it working now. I figured out that that's the one to use. So nobody online actually goes goes through this, nobody tells you which one to use. They just like show it and then like snap, it's hooked up. So you can use the turn light if you want. Just use the tap of the fuse tap. Use it the right way. Put in a 5-amp fuse or whatever one the gauge that you buy says to get. And that way it'll be able to work for you. But either way, I'm still not hooking up the wideband yet because I don't, again, when you put the wideband downstream in the car, sometimes these sensors, there's an element in the sensors, I'm not gonna open it, but there's an element in the sensors that burn out. So my wideband is actually at like the 11 o'clock position. So it's almost straight up vertical. It shouldn't have an issue burning out, but I don't need to have it running right now. I don't wanna jack the car up anyway, but I don't need to have it on right now. I'm not boosted, the car's stock. It's gonna be perfect. So I don't need to read the AFR and my boost. There's no point because it's not boosted. So I'm gonna wait for all that to actually hook it up. I just wanted the gauge on now. I kind of got tired of looking at it. I got tired of just staring at it in the shelf. I was like, you know what? Let me get the gauge in, just show you guys what it looks like. But this is it. I can get it in the daylight, but this is pretty much it. It's super clean. Simple. So you got those over there, which is that anodized. You can see it. And here, that same kind of grainy material there. So it looks really good, but see from the distance, can't really tell. That's what I like. I don't like the pillar pods too much because they are in your face and it creates a blind spot. But that's just not my cup of tea. But I do like them when they're kind of like down low and stealthy. So it's kind of what I was looking for. But anyway, let me finish this up, clean up all my stuff, my mess, and clean up the wiring in there and get it all done. So, oh, and I got to connect the ground back again to that same spot that I took off. Very difficult to do. You got to do it on your back, and yeah, it hurts. But let me finish that and I'll be with you guys shortly. All right, let's try this again. This time it's gonna work. That sucked, man. When you go to like put your car on and the thing just does, you know what I mean, and the gauge isn't working right, it just really sucks. But there we go. Now it's on. Cool. Key off, car off. Key off, gauge off. That's how you want it. A little run through the gauge. It's a multi-gauge, so boost. This is the boost. And then the wideband will be up here, which I don't have the wideband plugged in now, so it's not going to work. Or you got AFR up here. Wait, no. There we go. The boost will be here, and the AFR will be here, and the boost will be up here. So you could just change the way it is if you want that one to look big or small or by itself only. So, yeah. That's how it works. And the reason I really just wanted one gauge, honestly, again, it's just 6 pounds of boost. I'm sorry that it's like flickering. It's just it's the LED crap. But the reason why I just wanted one gauge versus like two that I could put right up here. I don't need two gauges. The wideband's actually just like really the wideband's the only thing I need. I don't need the boost that much because it is just 6 pounds. I'm sure if there's a boost leak, I'll know, but. So yeah, I figured a boost gauge is gonna they go all the way there, like 30 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever. For it to stop at 6 and 6 at redline, I'm not really gonna be utilizing like 90% of that gauge. So I figured I'd just get one where it just shows like the boost just right up in the corner somewhere, and you guys get what I'm trying to say. It's not that imperative, but I just wanted it a little bit, so that's why I opted for this gauge. Hopefully it works well. I read some good and bad things about it, so not gonna say too much, but we'll see how it works out for me. That's other people's experience. I may have a completely different one, but yeah.